Hey everybody, welcome to Season 3 of Song Revolution. Get ready to ramp up your songwriting. Hey everybody, John Chisum here. Welcome to Season 3 of Song Revolution podcast. We've been doing this show since 2017. We've got about 200 episodes back in Season 1 and Season 2. You can find it on our website at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com, as well as any streaming service provider that you enjoy, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, even on the YouTube. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the episodes that you like, giving us a like, a share, a good review. We've been at this for a long time. We're in our 10th year here at Nashville Christian Songwriters. I'm in my 42nd year in Christian music in one iteration or the other, and just excited about all that God has allowed us to do here at NCS. And it's all about you. Our mission statement is to empower Christian songwriters worldwide. And with God's help and grace and a lot of ups and downs, we're still here doing it into our 10th year. So this is our 10-year celebration. I'm actually going to be releasing my 30-year anniversary edition of the song that I'm most known for, called Firm Foundation. We're working on that in the studio as we speak. We're going to be releasing that this month. So we're very, very excited about that. And just exciting things. We've been serving thousands of songwriters over these years, these 10 years, and specifically with the podcast. We have so many great episodes in the archives. People like Bear Reinhardt from Need to Breathe, Kim Walker-Smith, Matt Maher. If you're into the OG 90s integrity guys like me, we have Don Moen and some other great people. I've been trying to get Paul Balash on the show. He's a little cagey. Paul, if you're watching this, I want you on the show, bro. But we're all about you. All of our coaching programs, everything that we do at NCS is really geared toward downloading to you everything that's going to help you fulfill your calling. We know that you're called, and we're here to help. So we've got a great show for you today. I'm flying solo. I'm going to be picking up from 2 weeks ago. If you're following us sequentially, we have some great things going on this year, 2025. We're doing our NCS 2025 Songwriting Challenge. Now, if you're not familiar with this, you can read about it on the site. I'm going to talk about it off and on through today. But what we want to do is help you add one songwriting skill per month through the whole year. That's the challenge. It's totally free. There's nothing to buy. This is kind of go at your own pace. But we're coordinating everything. We're coordinating all of our coaching programs, everything on our site. We have a free monthly training that you can come to. It's an hour long. It's usually on Wednesdays. We're doing it the first Wednesday of each month this year. We do send replays, which is very exciting. It's webinar style. You can jump on and ask your questions, which is so cool. And we're covering a lot of different topics, even within that program, but everything's working along with the 2025 Songwriting Challenge. Like I said, our programs, our monthly training, the podcast, blogs. We want you to use this year to set one giant intention. I don't even believe in New Year's resolutions anymore. I never keep them. I'm terrible at them. But to help you set a giant intention to be a better songwriter this time next year. I mean, think about it. The year's going to go by no matter what, right? I mean, hopefully, God willing, you're going to be still on this side of eternity and wanting to be a songwriter, and time's going to go by. So what if we take this whole year to become amazing songwriters? We want to just give you every opportunity to fulfill your calling. And so I thought today that I would do just a bit of a recap from 2 weeks ago. I hope that you enjoyed the Leanna Crawford episode, God and Goat Yoga. I love that. I love yucking it up with Leanna. She's such an amazing young artist. I hope you're enjoying her. We've got beautiful young man, Galen Crew, coming up next week. Love Galen. He's hit over 1 billion streams in China. So check out that episode coming up. But I thought what I would do is do a quick recap from 2 weeks ago where Brian and I talked about, I'm going to go back in my notes real quick. The title was Get Unstuck, Get a Plan, and Get Heard. You know, God has created you to be a songwriter because there's something of his own character that he wants to bring through you in your songs. You have your own unique testimony, your unique thumbprint and snowflake of God, and you've got something to say. Whether that's your testimony, maybe there's something that you've come through that was very difficult and God's inspired you to be like Paul in 2 Corinthians 1:3. He said, we give you the comfort that God has given us. Maybe you've been through a divorce and you want to talk to people who've been through that heartache, or you've lost a child, or you couldn't have children, or there's been something difficult, a trial, or maybe something very positive. God's just done so many good things in your life and you just want to talk about that. Or maybe you're a worship leader, maybe you're a worship songwriter, you're a stay-at-home mom, but you feel called to write songs that can reach the world. Whoever you are, whatever your calling, you still need a plan. And maybe you feel stuck and you want to get heard. Well, the NCS 2025 Songwriting Challenge, I think, is just the thing to help you do that. So I wanted to do just a quick recap and then get into some of the content for today. And I want to actually demonstrate a couple of things. I want to share with you the music that we're part of making here at NCS. We work with a lot of brand new writers, brand new artists, and I want to just demonstrate. I want to pull up our Spotify account here in a few minutes and just spot check some things that I think would be encouraging to you. And many of these people have actually never recorded before, or they've certainly never had a song professionally released before. I've been doing it for decades, so maybe that didn't count. But I want to download all of the success that I have into your life, and I want to show you, I want to encourage you with what people have done who have gone through our programs and been part of our NCS community or our mastery group program. I've done a lot of one-on-one coaching, and we also have an artist development program. So I want to just share with you that we're making the music that I think you want to make. And I want to encourage you to check out all that we offer here. Jump over to NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com at any moment and read about the programs. But anyway, just for a recap from episode 1 here, we talked about the fact that everyone really wants to be heard, but few people really put in the effort, right? It really takes effort. It does take talent. You've got to have some talent. You've got to have some tenacity. You've got to put some time in it. You've got to invest in yourself before you ever go invest 1 penny in recording your music. You need to invest in yourself as a songwriter. Put that money in yourself. You are your number one greatest asset. It's not some studio somewhere that's willing to take thousands of your dollars to produce bad songs. You don't want to do that. Believe me, we've all been there. We've done it. Let's not do that in 2025. So, maybe you feel stuck creatively. Well, I believe that there are reasons for that. I believe that if you're stuck creatively, it probably means that you're lacking the skill set that you need. Maybe you've got just a part of a songwriting process. Maybe you don't know how to finish your songs, or maybe you don't understand song form, and maybe you're writing, like I said a minute ago, in the 90s or the 80s or even the 70s or even further back, depending on how old you are. Chronologically, right? So you need to come current. You need to be competitive. You need to understand genre and style and form. You need to understand how to boil everything down to what we call the OBI, the one big idea in your song. There's not room in a song for more than one idea, right? So if you're feeling stuck, it's probably not because you don't love God. It's probably not because you don't love Jesus or the Holy Spirit, or that you don't feel saved. I mean, okay, so maybe you can feel depressed, or maybe there's anxiety or pressure in your life, and those things really do tend to hamper your creativity. But if you have the right skill set, you can even write above that. I don't even believe in writer's block anymore. Okay, there are seasons where we're more creative or more productive than other times. But here's the deal. If you have the right skill set, if you understand the process, if you've got the complete process in your songwriting toolkit, you can overcome just about anything. Inspiration's not the problem, you guys. I think it's really a matter of getting the right skill set. And that's what we're going to be helping you do. And that's what we offer in all of our programs. So talent, tenacity, time, investment in yourself. That's really where it's at. So that's a bit of a recap from a couple of weeks ago with me and Bryant. We did talk about getting in community, learning how to share your songs strategically. Don't just throw them out there on Spotify or Apple Music if they're not really tested, if they're not really produced well, if you're not willing to back them up with marketing efforts and with social media and giving people a real reason to go and consume your music. So we're going to be talking about all of that this year. And also we covered making sure that you produce at an appropriate level, demos versus masters. Now, next month, here's a little bit of a tease. In February, I'm going to be teaching all month on the differences in the levels of production from your work demo all the way through master level production. So you've got that to look forward to. I don't think I said this a while ago. Let me be sure to say this. Look in the show notes today because you can find a link to download my, I don't even know how many pages it is, but it's a lot of pages. It is the NCS 2025 Songwriting Challenge Guide. And I take you through month by month, the entire year, where you can follow along. Again, all the podcasts, the monthly training, blogs, and then our community program specifically. We're going to be going through adding skills each month. But you can download the PDF. It's absolutely free. It's my gift to you because I love you. I want you to be the songwriter that God wants you to be and that you want to be. All right, so today I wanted to, that was a long intro. Sorry about that. I got to have a long intro, but a little bit of a recap from a couple of weeks ago. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about discovering your songwriting zone of genius. There's a great book. There's a guy who wrote this back a number of years ago. It's been a pivotal book for me, Gay Hendricks, great psychologist, author. It is called The Big Leap. And in that book, I highly recommend that book. I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of books on Audible. I have like over 350 books just in my Audible account, books of all kinds. I listen to theology and philosophy and poetry. I'm not a big fiction reader. My wife reads a lot of fiction, but I'm not as much into that. I'm kind of into the self-help gurus. But Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap, is a great book because he talks in this book about basically how we self-sabotage, that we get to this point of possible breakthroughs and then we shut ourselves down. And so in The Big Leap, he talks about the zone of genius. And I like that because you and I are stronger in certain aspects of our songwriting than in others. And that's something that I think that we all have to reckon with, unless we're just crazy talented as musicians and lyricists and performers, triple threat in that way. Most people, especially if they're not performers, and maybe even if they are, they tend to be stronger in one particular aspect of songwriting over the other. I would say that I'm definitely a stronger lyricist. That's just been my love, just the words, not just poetry, but lyric writing, it's just been my love. I love finding a great idea and really working with that until it's so crystal clear. It's just so clean and precise and stripped down to like just the bare bones of a lyric. And I just love that. I do write melodies and, write a good bit of that. But I would say that I'm stronger as a lyricist. So I tend to focus more on that. I would say that's my zone of genius. So what's yours? What aspect of songwriting do you feel the strongest in? What brings you the most joy? What lights you up and gets the juices going? Okay, now that's one question, right? But you might not know. You might be struggling to understand your zone of genius because when you sit down to write, you're just trying to do it all. Maybe you're not as developed as a musician as you need to be. Maybe you don't play an instrument. Maybe you're just hearing all of this in your head, which is cool. I know lots of great writers who are not musicians or singers, and they still get hundreds of songs recorded in their careers. So you don't have to be a great musician to be a great songwriter. But sometimes we've not understood that there is a zone of genius. And one of the ways I would encourage you to figure that out is to look at the other areas of your life. Are you an engineer? Yeah. Are you an artist? Do you paint? What kind of other activities, whether they're hobbies or maybe even your profession, that could help you begin to understand and discern what your zone of genius as a songwriter might be. All right. Well, I tell you what, I think we're going to take a quick break because I do think that this is worth focusing on today to understand, that God has created us with certain loves and propensities. I love lyric writing because I grew up in a home where there was a lot of literature. Books were just a part of my life growing up. So I grew to love words, and that's why I focus on lyrics. So I'm going to take a quick break and talk to you about NCS Community, and then we'll be right back to finish up our content for today. Thanks for being here. What would it feel like to have 52 weeks of access to the right people in Nashville? People who've been making music for decades. People who can answer every question that you have about what pro-level music making is all about. Well, you can get that and more by joining NCS Community. Our community is a group of worldwide dedicated Christian songwriters who want what you want, to glorify God with your gifts and to get your music out there. I hope that you'll consider joining NCS Community today. I do hope that you will strongly consider joining us in NCS Community. It is like nothing else on the planet. You can't go out and find access to publishers, to people that are making music at the level that we are for any amount of money. You can't buy your way into this. So we're offering at a very low price each month for you to be part of a growing worldwide community of dedicated Christian songwriters. So go ahead and read more about it and come join us today and meet with us next week. We'd love to see you. Well, before the break, I started introducing the idea of a songwriting zone of genius. There are different kinds of songwriters. There are the producer kind of writers who, when they're writing songs, and maybe they are or are not professional producers, but when they write, maybe you're like this. You hear the entire production like a producer arranger would. You hear the guitar parts and the drums and the bass and the keys and the string parts, and you hear the background vocals, along with the lead vocal. That would be more of a producer kind of writer. Or maybe you're a technical writer where for you, it's really all about the minutia of line upon line, or maybe the song form. You understand the verse and the pre-chorus and the chorus and the bridge. Maybe you're more technical in the way that you even approach lyric writing. I would have to say that I think I'm a little bit more that way. I'm a pastor teacher by heart. And so when I'm working on a lyric, I tend to think about the spiritual, emotional, psychological impact, right? So I'm very technical in the way that I work with inner rhymes, or working with the primary rhyme scheme, or how the ideas flow spiritually, like I said, just making sure that everything funnels down through the verses and pre into such a powerful chorus that you cannot help but be impacted by that. So, so we've got the producer, the technician. Maybe you just are the big idea person. I have friends in the past that I managed at the different record companies I worked at, and some of my friends, they were great at coming up with big ideas, but maybe they weren't as good technically. Maybe that wasn't their zone of genius. They didn't really know, or didn't feel as comfortable or as fluid, if you will, in the way that they tricked out a lyric. And then that's where I would come in, right? And so we, as the body of Christ, great analogy for that, we bring the different kinds of gifts that we are. So maybe you're a big idea person. Maybe you're the technician or the producer. Maybe you just feel things and you just know we need songs about a certain topic, and you get in your co-writing group, or you get with a friend and that might be stronger than you are in different zones of genius, and you bring your heart. You're just more of a heart-driven kind of person, and you're figuring it all out. That's okay too. But I think it's really important that we begin to at least try to understand what we are strongest at and develop that. I mean, sure, go work on some of the weaknesses a little bit, but don't spend the majority of your time there. You're weak for a reason, right? And so you really want to be able to focus in on the things that you're strong at and amplify that, right? I just believe that philosophically, that's really important, that you work in your strengths instead of in your weaknesses. I'm going to take just a quick second, because I think that sometimes people miss what we're about here at NCS, and I want to make sure that you understand that we are a full service company now. In our 10th year, as I've said earlier in the show, we're here to equip you, to empower you, and we do that through the podcast, through our blogs and articles there on the show, on the website. But we also have 4 coaching programs. I'm going to share my screen here and just go to our website for just a moment and share that just for funsies. I'm not going to take too long with it. I do hope that you'll go over and experience it for yourself. We really are all about helping you make your calling a reality. So if you go to the menu bar, you can see that we have these coaching programs. We have the One Song Challenge. You can check that out. That's different than our year-long 2025 Songwriting Challenge. I'm going to let you read about that. We do have our NCS community that we've been talking about in the break here. Our Pro Song, this is an annual program, the NCS community. We meet weekly, so we're talking about 52 opportunities for interacting with us on a coaching level, which is unheard of. We do have our Pro Song Mastery Group, which is an 8-week small group coaching experience. Then we have one-on-one coaching with myself or any of our other fabulous world-class coaches. And then we also have our Artist Development Program, which is a 90-day program in conjunction with newreleasetoday.com that has over 300,000 unique visitors each month to their website. Kevin McNeese, founder and president of NRT, is our partner in the Artist Development Program, where we help you ramp up to launch your independent music career. So it's really, really exciting. These are great programs. But what I wanted to talk with you about a little bit today and share with you was really a little more about the NCS Collective. This is our record label, and all of these people have come up through the NCS coaching programs. You can click on any of these and you can read about what the NCS Collective is. We tell our story here, and then we are sharing on these unique pages music that we are actually releasing on all of the digital service providers. Powerful, world-class music, working with I'm on the label. We have Kobe James on the label, who is an amazing young artist. He's one of our producers and our coaches. But a lot of these folks here have never released music. And that is so exciting to me because we want to help you make the music that God has put in your life and in your heart. So you can check that out. I really wanted you to be able to see that. Let me jump back here so I can talk about a couple of the artists that we're working with here. Navigate through that real quickly. So you can read about Howard Grip. Howard is a beautiful brother up in Wisconsin. He is a Wisconsin-based artist who had never recorded professionally before. We released an EP with Howard this year. His streaming is off the charts. It's real exciting music, kind of a roots rock approach. We have Nikki Lou Savage. Nikki Lou is a former global fashion model. She had not ever written a song before a couple of years ago, came into our programs, and we have recorded a world-class bluegrass folk album with Nikki. You can read about Nikki's story, and then you can sample Nikki's music here on her page. Of course, you can follow us on NCS Collective on Spotify. In fact, I'm going to go over there in just a moment and share some of that with you. Jay Davids is kind of a mixture of Bruno Mars meets Stephen Curtis Chapman. He's a fine new artist we're working with. Bonnie Barbet. Bonnie's interesting because Bonnie is not a performer, but I co-write with Bonnie. Some of our other writers co-write with Bonnie, and then we produce the music, the songs that God's put on her heart, and we're releasing those here on the collective. And beautiful music, a very deep catalog of songs in Bonnie's life. The Ezra Worship Initiative is a group of young college-age interns. It's a wonderful program. It's more in the modern worship meets modern hymns. A beautiful group of kids. Kobe, I'm on the collective, and then Anya Lee. Anya is a beautiful African-American artist up in the Michigan area, and Anya Lee literally died on the Appalachian Trail, and God gave her a second chance, and we've been working with Anya for a couple of years, and it's more of a pop R&B, CCM, very unique kind of a sound. And Anya's got a single coming out this month, and I think you're going to love Anya Lee. So I'm going to jump over to our Spotify profile for just a moment and share just a couple of snippets of what we've been up to. I'm going to start with a song that was co-written with Kobe James. It's already got about 10,000 streams on Spotify, and I'm just going to kind of go through a verse and a chorus. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but just to show you the level of music that we're recording on our collective and working with some of the folks who have come up through this. So here's a little bit of Mighty God featuring Kobe James.
Not see you would see me through it. How could I not think that you would draw me near after the battle? I can see clearly you'd already won. You'd already won. See
right, I'm going to do a little bit of a manual fade on that. So I've got to remember to turn the volume back up for the next song. But we have so many songs. I think in the last 3 months of 2024, we released about 50 songs. So it's been a crazy, crazy season for us. So many different things. Now, that song was off of a collection we did, our first collective collection called All Shall Be Well, that you can find right there on Spotify. Like it, love it, share it out, follow us, and then you can stay up to date on the variety. And that's the beautiful thing about the collective is it's a variety of songs. It's not just, or styles. It's not just in one kind of lane, okay? Let me play you something very different from this particular album, and it's called You Are the One. This is a Bonnie Barbet song that it's more of a 50s doo-wop kind of a song. It features Jennifer McGill, who is a former Mickey Mouseketeer. She was on the new Mickey Mouse Club with Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, who's that other girl? Oh, Britney Spears and Ryan Gosling. But check this out. I'm just going to do another verse and a chorus here just for funs.
Before time began, you chose me. Open my heart, open my eyes so I could see love far beyond anything I'd ever dreamed. You are the one for me. Jesus, you are the one, you are the one. Jesus, above you there's none, not even one. Nothing is better, I love you forever. It's easy, so easy to see. You are the one, you are the one for me.
All right, so you can kind of see there's a whole lot of fun going on in that song, and that's one of a couple of kind of 50s Motown doo-woppy songs that we've produced with Bonnie. So just a wonderful catalog of songs launching here at NCS Collective that I hope that not only will you just love the songs, but I hope that it will encourage you to tap into your songwriting zone of genius. That's what we do with our clients, with the people that we're working with as artists. We help you to really discover your voice, to discover your perfect zone of genius style-wise, the way you are presenting your messaging. We just kind of really help boil it all down to a very crystal clear kind of presentation so that you have the greatest opportunity possible to, people say they want to get their songs out there, but what that really means is that they want to be heard. And you want to be heard. We get it. We want to help you to be heard as an artist, as a songwriter, in the way that God has planned for you. So I hope that you've been encouraged by being with me on the show today. We have so much more to come. This is just the beginning of the year. There is so much material, so much that we want to download to you. I'm going to say it one more time, through the NCS 2025 Songwriting Challenge, which is absolutely free. Look in the show notes, click the link to get the PDF download to walk with us through this entire year. You can find out on our website and in the show notes when our free Wednesday monthly songwriter training, the first Wednesday of each month this year, 11:30 Central is what we have it scheduled for. I hope that you will join us on Zoom. Come with your questions. Come ready to interact and to take some huge strides this year. Again, the time is going to go by, so let's make the most. Lay out a plan for your songwriting this year. Spend more time in your zone of genius. Interact with us. Think about joining NCS Community. Get all the freebie downloads, sure, but invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, you're really investing in your potential audience. It's not like, hey, you're going to make yourself so great. It's not about that. God wants to use you more than you want to even be used, but you've got to interact with this. You've got to co-create with God. Get in community with us. Let's join arms. Let's get shoulder to shoulder, arrayed against the enemy of our souls in the world today. Let's make Jesus famous. Let's bring more worship, more love to Him this year through our songs and our songwriting. You're called, and we're here to help. So anyway, thanks for checking in on the Song Revolution today. Let's revolutionize your songs for Jesus. Check in on the challenge and everything that we offer at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on today's show. If you got some value, please help us share the love. Leave a like and a share and a good review. Be sure to check out everything that we have to offer you at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. We'll see you next time.